Good morning, evening, or afternoon. This is fresh fish kebab on the market at the Long Beach Island or Pole Nesquik, rather, whichever you prefer. I prefer that first one, honestly. So today, this video is gonna be an interim between gameplays, uh, because while I was recording the Lost in Space, the Forgotten Ones 8, I started just it's called brain dumping about this game idea I had, and I was thinking about it more. So this video is gonna be cuts part of that, and then also me ranting about it. So without a further ado, let's get onto it. I actually had a game idea. I'll spew it out right now. Actually, feel free to steal my idea, and as long as I get a free copy. You know how there people have problems with like RNG because it's just paid. Like, obviously, you can still have cosmetics paid for. I don't really care about that in this game. But it's like a game where you either you have a set inventory and you can spin, or like you just, it's like a loot wheel. You spin and you get it. But you know how there's like a what's it called, like CS:GO cases and things like that, or like supply drops from Call of Duty when those were still a thing. You have that, but it's free, and you can make it earnable if you do it outside a game. But like, these do not cost money, and
Great. This zone is clear. We are almost there.
bitch, I fucking died. This idea is like, yeah, you get loot drops, and you can, like, it gives you certain weapons, which now that I see it, so I guess it'd be more in game. You spin it, and it's RNG, so it's all luck based, and it's a semi balanced, and by that I mean it's like unbalanced. You spin it, you can get some wacky gun, or yeah, that makes you do something crazy with it, or it could be normal mode for people like just base guns, and you spin it, and that's what you're stuck with for whatever, maybe like it's search and destroy or something, so it's round based. Then you're stuck with that. But PvP wise, I feel like there could be two separate modes where they make whack ass guns, and every update they can just drop new guns. And I'm not talking like 2 or 3 guns for an update. I mean like, because there's like, depending on how bad it is, it doesn't need to be too balanced. And then the same, or I guess the standard one could be less balanced, but it's all luck. So you don't need to balance it too much because it's supposed to be a little wacky and out there. And of course, you can still sell like weapon skins and things like that in the shop for the money if you really don't think that game's gonna last long for a live service. Um, but yeah, I think that game would be fun because it kind of takes it, like, imagine a ranked game or like a pro league game or something like that. You're in a championships and your squad pulls the worst fucking loot ever, and or like everyone has really bad things and someone gets like a fucking minigun, like a juggernaut basically, in Call of Duty, and so you obviously they don't have too much health, so you can still kill them, but everyone is using him as a shield because he's like a whole juggernaut. So they're like pushing towards an objective, and that would be a crazy thing. I would go crazy if I saw that. I'd be like, oh. I mean, honestly, the content writes itself for content creators. But I feel like it'd have to get published either free to play or by like a big studio for it to actually get traction, or just have really good marketing. I feel like if you got Shroud to play it, a lot of people would play it. I don't know who else plays games. Or we're gonna do the characters. Yeah, this game was pretty chill. I'm gonna talk about this game for a second. I wish I could like draw it out. Pretty cool. I mean, it doesn't even have to be hyper realistic like Call of Duty. Of course, you can have those kinds of skins like military skins. We can have legends or something. Nah. Or maybe like class system, which dictates which kind of wheel you spin. Because I go out like this. I said before, like the Juggernaut thing. Out of like 5-player teams like Overwatch, you normally have 1 tank, 2 like assault characters, and 2 healers. So one person would have that tank thing. And I'm not talking like CSGO Search and Destroy. I'm talking about like a mix of that and Call of Duty, but with less realism in it, depending on. And what I'd want for that is that the both modes gets equal focus. So I guess that sounds like it would cost a lot of money, but you'd have one team. I guess you'd have ahead of both sides. Ahead of like the goofy, wacky fun, and then ahead of like the more serious style, and then you could have the like the designers and like the ideas or whatever for the guns, with people who test it and they have the balance so that they never conflict. And then you could have a merge mode where it's just like no classes, everyone has a base set of health, and then everyone is rolling a wheel with all the things on it, which makes it so hectic because you could have the worst things, or you could get the most overpowered thing you've ever seen. And that's the only way both the modes clash. This is weird. Honestly, should I cut this part out and make it a separate video? Yeah, whatever. Okay. Yeah, but think about it. How cool would that be? You are literally, like, think of it in, how in, like, Team Fortress 2, you can rocket jump, but you do that shit with, like, a particle deconstructor or something like that. You could have, like in the finals where you have destructive buildings. That would be cool. You can have like something that places back like the building, like if a wall breaks or something like that. It could, any kill you get, you can store it in the gun, and it can like refix part of that wall. Like that sounds awesome. Or you could use that wall and make like a barrier for cover if you were playing like a competitive scene. That would be so cool. And none of it is abilities, it's all based on luck and yeah, luck and creativity with those weapons. You could even get like a sword that can be controlled shortly after thrown, like a kunai or something. You throw it, and then say someone's around the corner, and instead of just, if you like hold your right trigger to throw it, and then once it hits like the peak of its destination, or like after 2 seconds or something like that, you can just move your right stick, and it will like where yeah, go where you're looking. And I guess you could also have a button or like on computer where you can make it where your camera's locked while you're only moving that. Mind blowing. And I also think like the wacky side of it could have like zero gravity. On some of the maps you could be like in a space dome for the zero gravity, and so imagine rocket riding, but and when I mean zero gravity, I mean like actually zero gravity where you're floating. You have to use your guns to propel. Imagine that, like you're going somewhere, and then so you're going this way, and then you get in a gunfight with someone over here. So you're still going this way. You get in a gunfight, and you'll shoot each other, and the force just like since you're getting shot and you're shooting that way, just imagine like flying. I could see something like a glitch where you get like launched out of the space dome out of bounds. That would be so funny. And you could say like, "Hey, that's intended for the whack mode, the fun mode," because that man literally just got launched through the wall. That is insane. Just to think about it. I don't know how the RNG would work though. I mean, obviously, higher stuff has a lower chance to get. Um, but I'm talking about, would it be a wheel? Uh, imagine, imagine like you get 2 rerolls throughout the whole match or something. So like if you really hated your thing, if this was like stagnant, where uh, like a team deathmatch game or a domination game, it's stagnant. So you get 2 rerolls, or there's like a timer, like gun game, not gun game, the other one, where there's a timer and every time everyone gets a new gun. But instead of it being a timer, it could be rounds. So say it's first to 20 kills, and then that team resets. Like both teams reset. And you can also do it where like if you're winning, you have a higher chance to get the basic guns than basic guns you get a lot more often if you're winning, so that it evens it out. And then if it ties it up, then the odds go back like this. So it gets more chaotic for this team with the weapons they get if they're losing really bad. And then like if you keep winning, then the odds for them getting the common weapons this side is like you're basically guaranteed, and this side's basically guaranteed to have goofy stuff. But I think the only problem with that is like say it's first to 100, this team has 80, and it's resets every 20. Would they also get the milestones of the 40, 60, 80? Or would it just be straight 80, and then I have to get 80 kills while they're at 20 to win? I mean, obviously they'd still be at 80 to 20 to win, but do they get a reroll to rebalance the odds? Or you could have it like the free rerolls. I was saying, if that was an option, you could get the free reroll, or say as the game goes on, the chances for different things are upped, but it's random, so it's not just like linear. Like the chances for you getting the best guns are stocked, like as the game goes on. You could have like a meter in a corner or over your health bar, something, or top center, and it will tell you like it'd be like a mystery. So say like the chances right now are basic, so it's a gray, or say green, because I feel like gray would be the most natural weapons. But it's green, so everyone has a slight better chances than getting a gray. But then it's a question mark box until it's filled up, and then boom, once that fills up, it changes to a different color. So then let's say it goes straight to legendary, right? So now is when everyone would want to use it. And then say you missed that because you were doing good with your weapon. You're like, oh, I'll just keep popping off with this because this is a trash lobby. And then you miss it, and then all of a sudden you get dogged on. So you're like, oh, I want to reroll, but you get stuck with a freaking blue. And you're like, oh my god. So the rarity goes back, where you have a better chance to get those blue categories than the any other color. And then let's say legendary's not even the best. There's still like 2 above legendary weapons. You could have the relics or something like that, or artifacts. And that could be like stuff from space or things from 1,000 years back, 2 timelines ago, and it's the most whack thing you've ever seen. And then you could also have I guess high tech. You could have like futuristic, and then it's all like laser based and things like that. Like if it was the future, I guess yeah, you don't even need the colors. You can just have categories, and so you never know. And then the loot pool changes every time the bar moves throughout the match. And so say you're like, oh, it's purple, and then you're like, I might as well just use my rerolls. You get something bad on that first reroll. The second reroll, you get something like purple in that category. And then the next one is like artifacts. You're like, just a good idea. Good idea. Those are some building blocks. Hello, future spaghetti lover here, or pull Nesquik, whatever you prefer. So I kind of realized I didn't even give that video or this video proper ending, but the brainstorming doesn't end there. There'll probably be more time to think about this stuff, have more collective thoughts. I know I just watched the whole thing and saw I was having trouble speaking my mind, but if you have ideas like this, feel free to chime in the comments, message me. I have no means to create games. I'm not like that. But if you are, go for it. I would love to keep talking about it. But yeah, I'd like to end this video as a comma, a dash at the end of this. Like there's still room to add to it. Nothing I said was final. It's just a rough little idea of it, and if this ever came, that would be crazy. Just look back and be like, dang, remember when I made this whole like concept video? But yeah, very bare bones, very, very brainstormy, but it's very freaking cool. So, someone please come see this and make it. I would love you for it forever. You'd be my favorite game studio, alongside Remedy Games. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, tell your mama you love her, or else. I know I do. Most of the time. She knows though.